Sugars, we are talking makeovers, we're talking acceptance, we're talking the new Queer Eye on Netflix, and we're excited. Let's go!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
What is up, everybody? We are living our best life. We are living our best life, and we're here. Welcome, everybody, to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is a new show. We're recapping Netflix's hit Queer Eye. We've got a first season. We've got a second season coming. So let's just jump into it. I'm so excited. My name is Matt Marr. You can find me all over AFTERBUZZ. I do a lot of stuff here. This is probably going to be one of the most meaningful shows I've ever done. I'm so excited to do this today. I have two panelists today. Charles Conoly.
Hello.
And Lian Castillo.
Hi, at Hollywood Lian. Check me out.
Yes, what are you guys excited about recapping this?
Wait, I didn't get my... I'm at Charles Conley.
Get it in there, honey.
Okay,
get it in there.
And this is the second gayest thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm at any Dollar General. You can find me there. But no, so what are y'all excited about tonight?
I'm just excited about recapping this whole show. I watched this whole season, almost the whole season in like one day. And I've just been like wanting to talk about it ever since, and I rewatched the first episode today, and I've been wanting to talk about it ever since. So I'm excited that I get to do that.
Well, you get to do that, you, Mr. Lian.
Me too. I actually watched the first episode again today.
Me too.
Just to refresh, and I fell in love with Tom all over again. Tom and Abby, actually. And I'm just excited that I'm doing Queer Eye because it's something different. AFTERBUZZ, you know me for the Real Housewives franchise. I'm the host for the Atlanta and the Orange County franchise. So this is something different for me, so I'm really, really excited about just jumping into this pool with you boys.
Me too. Now
we have Southern boys.
It's true.
Southern
You're from
boys.
Texas. I'm from Oklahoma. And well, you're more Southern. I'm kind of white trash. But Oklahoma. And we have another panelist too that's going to be here who's not here today. So just know that we'll be a Fab Four eventually. A Fab Four, and he's straight.
He's straight.
So
See,
for now, we'll just deal with the threesome.
it's
I know,
true.
well, because you know the straights always come around eventually.
It's true.
So you should make
Hashtag
it
we're
for
diverse
episodes,
here at
so
AFTERBUZZ.
diverse. Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about, we were talking before the show started that, you know, for some of people that don't know, this is a recap, or this is a reboot. So there was actually a Queer Eye back in the day.
1800s.
Yeah. I was alive to see it, Sugars. It came out when I was in college. So it was just kind of the same premise as that there was five guys. Have y'all seen the originals?
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I'm familiar with the personalities that emerged
Okay.
from there.
I mean,
like
yeah,
Jay
Carson Kressley, Drag Race.
Carson is like huge now.
Huge.
But I don't know about the other ones. What happened to the other ones? Jay's always in West Hollywood.
Yeah.
Jay is always in West
You can find him
Hollywood.
at Revolver.
Always.
No
always.
tea, no shade. He just really is there.
No, yeah, I saw him in what's the play about Barbara Streisand, Buyer and Seller? They did that at the Gary Marshall Theater in the Valley. He was good. He was good.
Good for
I saw him
him.
that several years ago. But yeah, Kyan was the hair guy, the grooming, who was like, he was kind of like Karamo, where everybody's like, he is really hot.
Karamo's from the real world.
Yeah. Karamo, yeah, he's been in Real World, and he did stuff on OWN and all that kind of stuff.
He just always looked familiar, and then it clicked. I'm like, oh my God, Karamo, Real World, San Diego.
Girl,
What's
been
it in
around.
San Diego?
San Diego,
It would be
yeah.
Yeah,
San
it was in San
Diego.
Diego. And so, yeah, Kyan, and then Carson Kressley, and then Chuck, Tom, I forget his name. It's Tom. He was the food guy, and he's now the host of Chopped on Food Network.
awesome.
See, they're all doing well.
He's done really well.
Who knows where these current Queer Eye hosts are
Most
gonna...
of them. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll have
no.
some of them on the show. You never know.
Except for
Exactly.
one.
I'm all about guests. We
Is
can
there
get people.
one who's working at like a Men's Warehouse right now or something?
No.
No, we
that
won't
was-
go there,
We
but-
won't go there, but maybe. Maybe I saw somebody
but
at
you're not too far
LSC
off.
5 years ago.
You're
as the
not too
manager.
far off. Yeah, I have stories
So
too,
I'm
but we
just
won't go
saying,
there.
never stop working. Never stop
Exactly.
working. But something that's
The
different.
gig always ends, children. Ladies and gentlemen, the gig always
The
ends.
kids always ends, and your butt gets older. So just sorry. But so the show kind of, I think the main difference of last reboot compared to this one now is, and they just said it right in the beginning of the show. They said the last one was kind of more about tolerance, and this is about acceptance. And that show didn't focus a lot on the queer guys. It kind of really focused on, almost on like the fashion and
Like straight culture.
and straight culture,
Totally.
and almost was a little bit of like putting them in uncomfortable situations and seeing straight people like how are they going to handle like getting a body wax
Yeah, I
with
can
like
see that.
or getting a spray tan with cayenne. And so whereas this more is to me I felt like more authentic.
Tugs at the heartstrings more.
Yeah.
And I
That's
feel like
more
it's a
about the
perfect
soul.
balance. I feel like I know about the guys without getting too deep into them. I know all about them.
Yeah.
Did you just say?
While
Not getting too deep into- okay, I'm gonna love this panel.
yeah, I
already.
get really
Next
deep
time,
into a lot of things.
I'm
But we'll
bringing-
talk about that later.
I'm bringing vodka and LaCroix for next show.
We'll talk about how deep I get into things down the street at the bar.
At Cobra. We're
The
not
bar
far
where
away.
they
I
play
love
porn
that
on
bar.
the walls. No. That's to the west. I'm talking about to the east side. No. So I'm talking about though. This is like a perfect balance about showcasing these guys, but also showcasing the subject, which is about these guys that want to expand their life. They want to be more open. And when they're both open with each other, it creates this beautiful balance and a great episode.
Yeah.
And this first episode is a perfect
It
example
is.
of that.
Good segue. Thank you for I totally people always cry at this, and I think people are shocked that they get emotional about this. I'm not a crier and I've gotten teary. My boyfriend.
You're
and I
not a
both.
crier.
I'm not. I'm totally
Really?
not. Because I'm a therapist. So
I
I have
cried
to be
today.
like, I have to I've heard it all. So
Oh,
like
really?
it's like I used to volunteer for the Trevor Project, so I've talked, that's like a suicide helpline. So like
Come
things
through.
things don't faze me.
Fix
And
us, honey.
And Wizard of Oz though, cry every single time. Big queen. So I have a big queen. So let's jump.
Come through and fix us.
Come through and fix it. So let's talk about the new guys. Let's talk. We've got. What do we have favorites yet?
Antoni.
Antoni is so cute. He's from
just
New
gonna
York.
say
He's
it.
Oh my
gorgeous.
gosh. He's pretty
JVN
cute.
is my spirit animal. Jonathan Van Ness.
Yeah.
Van Ness, he's my absolute favorite. He's my spirit animal.
If you haven't seen Gaze of Thrones on the YouTube, you should watch it.
Antoni.
And
Also Antoni. I just want to
Antoni.
say Antoni this whole episode. I just want to be like repeating Antoni's name.
I-
Hey, Antoni.
I noticed that Charles tweeted everybody today, like tweeted about the episode, and he only tagged Antoni. I'm like, okay, now I see what you're doing, Charles.
so we have our thirsty panelist. Thirsty.
I'm thirsty for one kind of liquid, and that liquid is a tall drink of Antoni. Okay.
There is kind of the moment of the show where he says, like, looks at the camera and he's like, "What can I say? I'm a romantic."
That
I
killed
basically
me.
You know what?
flooded
Though?
my basement.
He's also a sniffer. He loves to sniff things.
He does.
The
He smells
couch.
that couch.
He
and
sniffs the couch.
He's quite a little sniffer.
He's a Clyde.
so-
Yeah, so if you're watching the YouTube channel, or if you're looking at the visual, to the left is Bobby. He's doing your design. Then there's Karamo, who is my favorite because Mama loves a cute black man. I do. He looks like my
Okay.
boyfriend. And then Antoni. And then Jonathan, and our second runner, Tan is pretty handsome. That
I
silver
love
hair,
Tan.
and that
Well, they're
accent,
all
I
so
can't.
handsome.
They're all
They're all so
gorgeous.
handsome. They're great. They get along well, and so yeah,
I've dated a version of all of them.
I've gotten strep throat from a version of all of them.
Oh my
Rage.
God.
So we did things in our 20s sugars. So they are in Georgia. So first of all, I love that they're putting in again. I love that as being from the South and you from the South. I love that they're putting them in a place that's not historically the most except gay friendly. Just gay.
Well, it's perfect for budget.
It is perfect for budget. It's
I was
true.
thinking the exact same thing.
Tyler
It's like
Perry
Atlanta's
Studios
a
are
great-
cheap, y'all. They're cheap
Film everything in the
Atlanta.
South. It's super, super cheap.
It is super cheap.
And get to go to New Orleans on your day off.
You do. I love New Orleans. So they are invasion. They go in this. So they're in the truck and they're talking about they're going to go see Tom. And what do we learn about Tom when they're in the truck? We learn that I think he calls himself a demo country boy from Kentucky.
The Romeos.
Yeah, he's from
What was it?
Kentucky.
What was the
Oh,
Romeos?
he's part of a car group. They're
Something
retired.
old men who eat out. Old men who eat
Oh,
out.
my God,
retired
that's
old.
right.
The
Retired old
Romeos,
men who eat
retired
out.
old men who eat out. That's like his kind of group, which I love that he has this group of friends.
awesome.
Yeah.
Squad.
And so, his squad,
squad.
and they talk with his friends, and basically, what one of his friends says, they don't know if Tom has 6 different pairs of the same shorts, or if he wears the same shorts every day. But
Jorts. It's
Jorts.
jorts.
They're jorts. Yes, it's true.
Jean
Jean shorts.
shorts, jorts.
And either way, they're concerned.
Yeah. Or if they're just permanently attached to his waist by this point because he hasn't
Yeah.
taken them off, they're just like permanently part of his body.
Yes. And so we're finding this out all the time. So they go in and invade his apartment. He rents an apartment at the bottom of the house. And let's talk about the smelling of the recliner. If we ever
Oh my God.
interview,
That
if
was
we ever interview him,
disgusting.
I'm asking
Ugh.
him.
Which I'm surprised that he
can't.
was the
I don't
one
even
that
wanna think
did
about
that.
it.
I
Well,
wouldn't have expected.
I'm not. He's a food person. He's smelling stuff.
He's very.
It's like
Just because he's pretty doesn't mean he can't be nasty.
he wants to know, can I cook with this?
nasty. Can
So-
I cook? Can I use this as a seasoning?
Story of my life, darling.
So Tom has a recliner that he sits in. I mean, y'all, this is our people, Charles. He sits outside on the chair because you don't smoke inside. That is not Southern. He smokes outside with the door open so he can watch his programs.
That was my favorite quote of the episode. It was like sitting outside, smoking a cigarette, drinking my margarita, watching the TV through the door. That's my favorite thing to do.
It's my favorite thing in the whole world too, Tom.
It would be
that
too.
was incredible.
He is.
I'm not even mad at you.
He also talks. He reminded me so much of my father, Chelsea Marr, because that's the way. Like my people in the South describe. They just say their diseases or whatever ailments they have very
like openly. They're
like
like, "Oh, I have
Charles,
lupus."
he's like, "Oh, that's my lupus." Like my dad said, "That's my diabetes."
Yeah, diabetes.
It's my diabetes, son. That's
he's
that's
very
my spine.
endearing.
He is. He honestly, I think that's why I cried a little bit because it reminded me so much of my dad.
And it reminded me of like home too. Like I'm thinking of all the guys like that age group of guys back from my hometown. And I'm like, they are just like that. Like they are who they are.
They are who they are.
They accept what their fashion choices are or aren't. And they
chase you down the street.
Yeah.
So we found the nasty recliner. That's his favorite. So what else did they find in there that was a little?
The towel on the side of the bed.
They didn't even ask about that. That's true.
Thank you for not asking about that. That was.
I'm just glad they got a whole new
hilarious.
mattress. They
did.
They were like, you know what? Let's just not even go
mattress
there.
that he bought on Craigslist, I think.
Yeah, that was not cute.
I mean. That is not the right way to get HPV.
You don't get anything on Craigslist.
No, you don't get any. You do not get that on Craigslist.
And now you're not allowed to.
Now you're not allowed to. That's how my boyfriend and I met too. I was
Really?
tired of Tinder. I was tired of Grindr,
Really?
and I wrote a personal. It's like 5 years ago. I was like, "Hey, I just want to date someone normal." Blah 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 blah. And he answered the ad, and then 3 years in,
The rest is history.
History.
Good for you,
They're
boo.
taking down the personal ads now. Yeah. Not happening. Sorry, gay DD. Okay, back. We're gonna have a lot of gay DD on this show.
We're explaining all sorts of culture here.
It's true. Anything else that they found in Tom's apartment that was horrifying?
The only thing that
A
stuck out
long
to me.
shower head.
The only thing that stuck out
and
to me
they thought it was a douche.
was the long shower
It
head.
was so funny. They covered her ears and they were like, "Don't scare
Jonathan
her."
was like, "Not yet. He's not ready."
Yeah. The long shower head douche, the towel on the side of the bed, the recliner, and then the
blow dryer,
epic,
Beyonce moment.
well, yeah, the Beyonce, and then the epic kitchen moment where they find the ingredients for the one and only Texas margarita.
Oh, Texas, which
which is just
Mountain
7-Up
Dew.
and tequila, right?
yeah, it's like it's Mountain Dew and tequila, and they drank it and they were horrified.
Yeah.
Horrified.
And it does sound like it'd be good.
You know,
I love a little tequila in anything, whether it be Mountain Dew or a little soda.
well, Mountain
or
Dew is,
a little squirt.
it is our people's a little squirt.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, squirt.
Yeah, that's called an Espaloma. Thank you very
true.
much.
We
Real alcoholics know that one.
we put stuff in Mountain Dew. We also would put some. What is that? Cinnamon.
We put stuff in our mouth.
Cinnamon to go. We put Fireball and Big Red.
Oh God,
you know Big
can't.
Red. That's a Texas thing.
That's big,
Or
yeah.
Dr Pepper.
Yeah, that tastes exactly like Dr Pepper.
Yeah.
Mr. Pibb.
I love Dr. Pepper. All right, so obviously we're going to keep talking, but let's talk a little bit about some other stuff going on AfterBuzz. Let's talk about Maria Menounos' new podcast.
Yes,
Conversations with Maria. So if you want to have fun, you want to learn and grow in all areas of your life, for those who do, we at AfterBuzz have a podcast just for you. It's called Conversations with Maria Menounos. And it's hosted by our own AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes, who, by the way, just got her haircut. I saw it on the live
Super
feed.
cute.
It's super cute.
iTunes got a haircut?
No, Maria Menounos, and she's in New Orleans.
My English.
Charles, are you
someone's
a comedian?
Charles is funnier than me, and that's okay. I like it. Okay, Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of your life, from health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Y'all can let Maria be the big sister you have always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that it was the Queer Eye panel at AfterBuzz that sent y'all there. Say Queer Eye, whatever you want to say. Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition. Check it out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you listen to
Available
podcasts.
on iTunes.
Available on
Available
iTunes.
on iTunes.
So let's talk about this man that we all love, Tom.
Tom.
I mean,
Tom. He is a
such
lovable,
pretty blue eyes.
He's a lovable teddy bear, and his token statement is, "You can't fix ugly.
You can't fix ugly.
You can't fix ugly." Which, like, you can't, but he's so lovable.
You know,
like,
He's a family man. I love that he loves
him.
his
grandson.
grandson,
Chandler.
So cute. I love that. That just
Chandler's,
shows like a big
yeah.
heart, and he loves his daughter.
And his daughter was very much, I think, seems very supportive of him and wants him to, like, her name's Katie.
She wants him to flourish.
Succeed and flourish. But, I mean, and maybe it's my own growing up a little fat kid, but when every time we'd say you can't fix ugly, it would break my heart a little bit just because he's saying that about himself. And because he, I definitely feel like he needed somebody to come in and give him a self-esteem boost, right?
Well,
And
actually,
he
like
stepped
that.
out of it quickly. I feel like when he did recover, he was like so confident. It was
Oh
great.
yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah.
well, I mean, that's really like one of the points that I wanted to make about this whole episode is, I'm glad that they didn't make it about fixing ugly. Like, so much about gay culture is about physical appearance.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, like, my favorite moment in this episode actually was with Jonathan whenever he was in the salon doing
That's
his
my
hair.
favorite moment too, yeah.
And he says, like, if you have confidence and if you believe in yourself and have self-esteem, that is sexy. And nobody is going to give you the time of day if you don't give yourself the time of day. Like, nobody's going to even bother with you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you don't need to be perfect skin, amazing hair, six-pack abs, pecs that a lot of gay men feel like they need to be to, like, have a place in the world. And I think that's like goes to the whole heartstrings thing that this whole season is about.
But a little green stick always helps, like Tom.
A little green stick.
A little green stick. I've used that for redness.
Yeah, you
I
have.
I used to do makeup. I know all about it.
Yeah. One
Wearing
time I wore
concealer
green.
now.
One time I wore green for redness. Like
did.
a green shirt.
Did it help with the redness? No,
Not at all.
Just made
because it was on my body. It wasn't on my
Yeah, that's a total
face.
different thing. So, but now we also learn, besides being into cars, Tom is still into his ex-wife, y'all. He's really, really, and her name's Abby, and he is. I mean, he's.
Abby.
They
I
gave him
know.
a lot to work with, producer-wise. Like, they had a lot
I
to
mean,
work
those
with.
producers were so happy finding
For
Tom.
real. They were like, oh my God, he's in love with his ex-wife. This is perfect. And she likes him back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we know why they got divorced?
Well, I mean, obviously he, maybe he let himself go.
Well,
or-
because didn't he say like she, or was it her or a girlfriend?
that was a
he
date.
had?
That was a date.
Oh yeah. So that was great though. He had that conversation with Karamo.
Yes.
I think that like kind of alluded to the fact why his relationships failed is because he sees himself as a simple guy who like has a bad back.
Yeah.
But, she was also not, if we're going to throw stones, she wasn't the best candidate also. Like, her idea of having fun was going to a store to walk around. So I'm glad that he went back to Abby.
Oh, that was her idea?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not Abby, the girlfriend.
The girl.
Let's just call her Susan, since you're wearing a Whitney
Susan.
shirt and my name is not Susan.
But I like that
Susan.
Abby supports.
The car thing.
Yeah, like, because it's
Yeah.
his hobby, and she likes it as well.
Yeah.
And
you
Susan's
know.
a materialistic whore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Screw
she
you,
didn't want to like
Susan.
hang out with him.
Okay.
He has a bad back. You should have went home and
Yeah, you missed
Service
out
him.
on a good thing. Giving him some green stick.
go home and take care of your southern men.
Are we still talking about the green stick?
Got
I
him
mean,
with that long shower head. What?
I know.
That long shower head was so terrifying.
So long.
We haven't cussed, but I think this episode is explicit, y'all.
Guys, we're gonna have a picture of that shower head for you guys next episode.
You know what?
Available on X.
I like handy things. So Tom, he also he grew up in Kentucky and lives now. He's in Dallas, Georgia, and so he's retired, right? Is he retired?
I don't really know what he does.
No,
Yeah, I don't think we found out.
because there was a shot of him. Remember, backing up that
Oh
truck.
yeah, he was like dumping a bunch of asphalt.
Oh
doing
yeah.
something real
Again, he
straight.
does construction. That's what my
Yeah,
dad does.
he's-
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm telling you guys, this guy was kind of my dad.
Very
It was a
hetero.
little. It was a little took me present, but
But then again, boys do that just like for fun out there, right?
Right, and then what straight guys do? Don't they just go
Don't
out to a
they-
field
yeah,
and dump
exactly.
stuff
You know
out
what?
of a
It's
truck?
my dad.
Don't y'all just drive trucks around
Yes,
and do
he
stuff
used to
like
grow
that?
up going to construction sites and watching them as a kid. My grandma Hazel used to have to
Really?
go look for him. And she'd be like, "Where's Chelsea?" And she's like, "Chelsea's out looking at the backhoe." And so,
Oh, what'd you call me?
the backhoe. I used the
How
blue
dare
backhoe
you.
as my Batmobile when I pretended as a kid.
Blue backhoe was
Wow.
my first drag name.
Sorry, we can't talk about the South or we need a banjo music. So it's okay. So I think we've covered everything about it. I mean, one thing that I with Tom that I thought was interesting was just we're talking about Tom, but can we talk about Tom's way of relating to the guys? Like, again, it was beautiful. I mean, you could tell genuinely loved being with all these guys. They cracked him up so much. I love the part where they're testing out mattresses with Bobby and Jonathan. And Tom just jumps in. He's like, hey!
Yeah.
That was so great to watch.
That was amazing.
It was amazing. And he was such a...
He could have been scared. He could have been like, okay, I didn't sign up for y'all to fornicate in front of me.
Yeah, I started exactly, and I started to say he was a good sport about it, but that makes it sound like he was kind of like he didn't want to. He wasn't a good sport. He was in it.
Yeah,
he was like
he was
just having a
fun
good
with them.
time.
And good sport makes it sound like he was tolerant, which
He
it's
wasn't.
not
He was
about tolerance. It's about acceptance.
It was. Didn't y'all see them walk on that rainbow road and take off their sunglasses and say acceptance?
Acceptance. And then they got into a truck in the middle of the street.
That was real butch.
Straightest thing they've ever done.
GMC truck. I do like how the camera work. They're normal, then all of a sudden it just slow mo. There's a lot of Jonathan hair flips on this show.
Amazing.
The
Jonathan
production's
and
really
his
good.
hair flips give me live.
It
Honey,
is.
come
It's like
through.
Bravo meets Chef's Table.
After
but
every
on
episode, I
Netflix.
have to cut my hair because it just grows seeing Jonathan's hair flips.
It does.
In the episode, I have like 22-inch weave. I'm like, oh God, I don't know how this.
And he gave such a great example of that too when he was like, again, Jonathan's own gay DD, when he's cutting Tom's hair and he's talking, he's all heartfelt with Tom and he's like, isn't my hair a mess? But then he brings that into like, but see, I'm owning it. My hair looks like crap, but I don't care. I own the confidence.
Like, does
thing.
this look crazy? It looks
Exactly.
crazy. I love it.
So
though.
they also take him to, so basically to give a breakdown, so kind of the mission of all the guys, I wrote this down because I knew I'd forget, but so basically Bobby wants to give Tom a space where he can entertain in the backyard.
Interior design.
Yeah, his family or his lady friends.
Lady friend.
Jonathan wants him to know that it's okay for him to take care of himself.
Grooming.
Green stick.
Tan wants no more jorts. That's basically...
Wardrobe.
Although he did enjoy his plaid.
It's called fashion. Look it up.
It's true. And Karamo and Tony wants to just basically get chemicals, I think, out of his diet and teach him how to make.
Antoni. Oh yeah.
Anthony. I said Tony.
Antoni.
Sorry. West Side
We're
Story.
already on a nickname basis. Hey Tony.
Hey, Tony. So he wants him just to be eating healthy food that can sustain him. And then Karamo really wants him to honestly love himself and kind of get in touch with his heart. And so that is the guy's mission.
Yeah.
Do we think they did it? Do we think they did it?
Absolutely.
Honestly,
Yeah.
my favorite one. Okay, here's the gig about whenever I first watched this first episode. I was a little hesitant at how maybe this is like growing up in the South. Hello, Tom.
Look at
There
that
he is in
makeover.
all of his
They
glory.
fixed his beard. He looks so handsome.
Well, the same old attitude though.
It's a
The
good
attitude-
shape too.
The attitude comes through in both pictures, which is like what the whole season is about. Is like finding guys who have that great mindset and just putting it in the spotlight. But going back to what I was saying, whenever I first watched the first episode, maybe it's from being from the South, I was a little hesitant at how expressive and flamboyant Jonathan was.
Oh, I was nervous for him.
Because I was like, oh damn, like this is
He
like
didn't
a
hold
gay,
back either.
This is like a gay trope. And then as I watched the episodes further, I like took me a while to say to myself, okay, this is exactly what you like. I was telling a gay person how to be gay, and he needs to fit into a mold of gay person that looks like other people, and just like his sexuality is just his sexuality. It shouldn't influence his whole personality. And I was thinking like, well, that's kind of messed up because that's the whole point. Like, that is the opposite of what you want to be doing as a gay person. It's like telling people how to fit into a community that they are just joining.
Which happens.
And they even touched a little bit on that in the episode. You know, Tom says, are you the wife or are you the husband? And they were like, let's break that down.
Oh, I'm so glad you
know
brought
what
this
I mean?
up. That was great.
They break that down because it is a stereotype and it is about fitting into a mold, and we want to break that mold. It is about just being open and being individuals, and Bobby shut that down. Bobby was like, you know what? We both run the pants. We're not those type of guys. And then Jonathan just exploded into comedy, because that's the thing about Jonathan. He might break the mold a little bit, but he is a comedic genius.
He is.
So even during that time where it was a little bit awkward, because you're basically schooling a 6-year-old man on, you know what? I know that it looks like there's always a man and a woman. You can't talk like that. You're basically telling him not to talk like that. He was like, well, I'm sorry about that. He was so receptive and awesome. But with another person, it might have not gone that way. So I love how Jonathan just breaks it with some comedic timing, and he's like, and they're like, well, you just broke everything we talked about.
Yeah, and it also it's like it was like, why was I so surprised that Jonathan had such good insight? And the reason I was so surprised is because Jonathan is the gay man trope. He's very flamboyant and loud, so I felt like I understood everything about Jonathan already.
Sun and moon, that's what we call it.
It was like I knew Jonathan was just going to be flamboyant and very funny and this and that the entire episode, and he was going to be like the comedic relief. But then like whenever he sat down with Tom at the salon and like broke it down about confidence and loving yourself, I was like, whoa, like why am I surprised that he's like
that's why he has the job, baby.
Really exactly. And I was like, I was checking myself. They
all have layers to them, and that's what I think Charles is trying to say is like, we don't get much insight into them, but what they showcase, we really feel like we get to know them. And these guys have layers to them. There's a lot there. It's not just about him grooming. It's about grooming, bringing out confidence, and showcasing and highlighting something in that person to bring out. And you could see it at the end of the episode. Tom was beaming. I mean, there was even like an elevated pitch in his voice. Yeah. He was just like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, damn! Damn! And, oh, shit! Like, he was just so ecstatic, and it was beautiful to see.
Nothing makes people happier than feeling comfortable with who they are and having other people say, we love you for who you are. Bar none. Like, that's it. That's all what we're trying to achieve in life. And I think what you described is we saw the difference of Tom by seeing people who love themselves for who they are and that embraced him for who he is. That just, like, made him this joyful person.
The only thing I wish he wouldn't have embraced was that flat cap. I don't like that.
Oh, I like it. I thought it was cute. It's like Newsies.
We like it for him, but
it's a fine line.
I didn't like it for him. I didn't like it for him either. I thought it made him look like he like studied clocks for a little.
I like it, but I'm not a stylist. I'm not.
Because
Did you like it?
Whenever Tan's,
it was alright.
I love Tan.
I liked it on him.
I love Tan, but like I feel like there are cool caps. Like I don't think that Tom would wear that every day. Like I think he's gonna go back to his ball cap.
I don't think he is. No, the pictures I've seen on Twitter and stuff like that, which we're gonna get to later, tease, is he's wearing that cap still. In fact, I think he's still wearing the same cap.
I got some good stuff.
Yeah, some
because
good stuff.
I feel like if he would have like learned to invest in some like high quality ball caps, like some nice sharp looking,
like a variety of hats.
A variety of hats.
Well, and maybe he did. You know, this was first season. They had a budget, Charles. Okay.
God,
you know, they just got season 2.
Baseball cap is gonna break the budget.
Wear that flat cap until it is done.
So before we talk about how they did when the guys watch, I just want to say real quick: if you are listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, I don't know, a tin can. If you can leave a review of our show, leave 5 stars. And not only if you leave 5 stars, but if you actually write something like, I don't know, keep going, Queens, whatever. Just put something.
Gayer.
Put whatever you want. And, well, not whatever
Thumbs
you
up,
want.
please.
Thumbs up, 5 stars. And that just shares us with iTunes. Or, if, hey, you know what? If you loved Queer Eye and you have friends that love Queer Eye and y'all want more of it and you can't wait for season 2, hello. We're here in the room.
And guys, we really want to get these boys on the show, so help us, retweet us, and tweet to them as well to come on this after show and this review and this reaction thing we got going on, because we really want to share the studio with the boys and have a moment.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna keep Charles and Antoni on separate sides of the room.
I do know one of them personally, so I'm gonna try to get him on the show.
You don't know what's gonna happen when me and Antoni step into the same room together.
Doesn't he have a husband? No. Tan is married and Bobby is married.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are
Antoni
the
is
two.
single, I think.
And Karamo has a boyfriend for a long time.
How is Antoni single?
Because
well, you know, Antoni's single because he's waiting for me. Okay, move on.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay. All right. Well,
of course.
So Charles is the dreamy one of our group. All right. So let's talk. So now let's talk about when the guys are watching. So the way the show works, and this is the way the old Queer Eye worked too, is that the gays would kind of come and do the makeover, and then they would leave, and then the camera crew would follow whatever task or event that the guy needed to do. The camera crew would follow him, but then you would have what made it different about Queer is that a lot of makeover shows would do at the time. They would show the people like getting ready for a dinner, but that's all they would show. Yeah. Whereas Queer Eye would show like people would be doing their hair, and Carson they put on like a jacket, and Carson Kressley would go, no!
Yeah. Oh God.
And so that's kind of a great aspect that they carried on in this episode as well, or in this version as well. So how did he do? How was the reaction there? What do you think?
I think he did well.
How did Tom do?
I think that Tom honestly was a little overwhelmed his first time like on camera, so I think he just relied on like the outfit they put together for him. But what I really liked is that he got kind of fun with the socks.
That was my favorite part too.
He was like, you know
cute.
what? Like, I'm confident enough to put these
Lacoste,
socks
too.
on, and you know what?
Bougie.
And
Okay.
yeah, and like maybe the outfit wasn't, you know, straight off the runway, but it was Tom through and through. Like the socks are a quirk that I think worked.
What did? Oh, you were just waiting. You wrote that down, didn't you?
I know I did. I have it tattooed on my arm.
But they did. Someone said that they felt like it was Tom before, but kind of elevated because he
Yeah.
was wearing like the shorts and the jean shirt.
Yeah.
So, and I love that we saw they didn't change who he was. They just kind of showed who he really could be
In green stick.
in green stick.
Exactly.
But that green stick helped. What did you
green.
think? How did you think they did, Lian?
I think they did very well, and I think they set him up for like a new chapter that he wants to
That's what I hope, too.
pursue in life. You know what I mean? I feel like when you're open to change and you're ready for it, it's a recipe that's gonna be successful.
Yeah, so too.
You know, but if the equation is off and not everyone is open to it, or you're hesitant, then I feel like that's when it doesn't work out well. So I feel like it was a great setup to success for him.
For sure. And another thing I love, you know, it's so much about intention, about when you want to start a new chapter in your life, it can be physically getting rid of stuff in your apartment and your home and like literally making the room. And I love that they got rid of the old stinky recliner, but they replaced it with not only one, but two recliners that are just super cute. And the whole point is
Fill the second recliner.
Get your girl in there, Tom. Work
Setting
it
up for
out.
a new life.
Which can we talk about?
It's like, don't get a twin bed, y'all.
No. Unless you have a twin and then you need another twin bed to fill the other bed with the other twin.
Charles is punning, and I'm all about it.
I know.
I'm living for it.
Speaking of which, filling the other chair, can we talk about Abby's appearance at the car show? My favorite part, I like laughed out loud. I screamed actually when she walked out. She was like, "Oh, me? Like I didn't even know
In
these
a
cameras.
vision of yellow.
I didn't even know these cameras were gonna be
Girl
here.
showed up.
Lights, camera, action, and me with not a stitch
She had
of
like
makeup
Mariah
on.
Carey light on
She
her.
looked amazing. Actually,
And the
let's get-
guys queened out.
Yeah.
She looked amazing in the yellow dress and the pearls. And with that being said, we're gonna get into news and gossip.
Yes, let's do it.
All about,
Let's do it.
it's all about Tom and Abby.
It
and
is about
Tom and
Tom and
Abby
Abby.
have gotten together. They're reportedly engaged, and they want Queer Eye to do their wedding. And it's amazing. And Twitter went crazy because
Tabby.
this was just like a fantastic setup episode. We really loved them, and they really, really are what the show is about. Yeah,
a match
really,
made in gay heaven.
It really has been working out.
But it
up
was
in-
a roller coaster because he did tweet after the show they weren't together. Did you know that? And people broke out.
Well-
But no, now they're back together, right?
They're reportedly engaged up until 3 hours ago when Metro.
Yeah, I think they're back together now,
Metro,
yeah.
No, Metro UK actually just reported that they broken up, so they're not together anymore.
What?
As of 3 hours ago, an article came out
This is
that
the
they're not
worst way to
together,
end our
but this
first-
whole time they
What?
have been together, which is a
They
success for
broke
them.
up, got back together. Now they're broke.
You guys, Liam did
know
not
what?
tell us about this before the episode. My face is permanently cracked. We're gonna have to end the episode
I'm not
early.
doing this show. I'm done. No.
I told
We're
them that they were
done.
together because they have been together this whole time, but as of 3 hours ago, they just broke up. So I
Oh
wanted
my
to give it to you
God.
guys without you guys knowing.
Well, now I'm gonna cry.
Wow. You know what? My hope is that Tom, if you're listening, you're probably not. But if you are, I'm going to tell you, Sugar, you were set up. You were set up to meet the right person that
Yeah.
you were supposed to be with, and you've got the other chair waiting. So I just say, Tom, just enjoy your granddaughter, enjoy your daughter, and live your best life and move on. You can do it.
Exactly.
You can
Yeah.
do it, Tom.
But my favorite part of one of my favorite parts of the episode, besides the Jonathan grooming Super Soul Sunday moment with Tom in the chair, was Abby showing up with her pearls, just looking like, oh, me in this dress,
She was
like
ready.
this old
Southern
thing.
Belle.
I've done that.
Oh, okay.
Do that every time I go into Mickey's. Okay, everybody. So that's our show. That's that. Hope you enjoyed our first kind of inaugural episode. So just to give you an idea, we're gonna keep going. We're doing the whole every Sunday.
Season 2's been renewed.
Yeah, it's been renewed, so we're gonna do that, and then but we're still on season 1, Sugar. So if you watch Queer Eye, you're caught up, and you want more of it, you can find us here every Sunday. I believe it's gonna air live. I'll let you know. So Charles Lee, and tell everybody where they can find you.
Oh my gosh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Charles Conoly, and every week I'm just gonna get gayer and gayer, so keep watching.
I'm about it.
I can feel it coming.
You can?
Yes.
Isn't that the best?
Oh.
Guys, I'm Hollywood Lian. You can find me on all social media platforms at Hollywood Lian. Check me out at 9 p.m. on Sunday nights. The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're doing the finale tonight. We have a special guest, and it's going to be incredible. We'll see you guys next Sunday.
Cross-promotion gig.
Special guest. All right, everybody. And I'm Matt Marr. You can find me Instagram, Twitter, the Matt Marr, 2 T's, 2 R's. I also do a Riverdale podcast. You can find that at mattmarr.tv or on the Arrow Show here on AfterBuzz. And you guys, we're just going to get gayer and gayer, and we can't wait. So we'll see you next week.
Bye, AfterBuzzers.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Maybe we should bring
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.